I took this picture in downtown Boston, and sorry for the weird angle. I had to pretend I was tying my shoe because I didn't want to be weird and have the guy know I was taking his picture. But when I saw this guy, and it's a little hard to see what's going on maybe, but you have this crane up here, and it's suspending a couple thousand pounds of metal right above this guy's head. He's standing right underneath it. My first thought was, why would you stand underneath it? Why not step a few feet to the side? My second thought was, what a good example to talk about inductive versus deductive reasoning. So, obviously I don't know what this guy's thinking or if he's thinking at all. But let's say, hypothetically, let's say he has sort of actively thought, why am I standing underneath this load of metal, these thousands of pounds of metal, and why is it a good idea? And I want to talk about an inductive argument versus a deductive argument for doing such a thing. Okay, so let's start with inductive. Inductive reasoning, sometimes called proof by example. Proof by example, meaning you come to a general conclusion based on specific individual facts. For example, let's say this guy's thinking, well, yesterday I stood under a big bunch of metal and it didn't fall on me and kill me. And the day before, I stood under some metal and it didn't kill me. And the day before that, I stood under some metal and it didn't kill me. And maybe last week, I stood under some metal and it didn't kill me. And the week before that, same thing, it didn't kill me. So based on all of these examples, I come to the general conclusion. The general conclusion that it's safe. Okay, so I've seen other people do it. I've done it before, multiple times, therefore it's safe. So here's an example of inductive reasoning of why this might be okay. Or maybe he's thinking more deductively. And with deductive reasoning, you start general. Start general, and you come up with a specific conclusion. Specific conclusion. All right, so maybe he's thinking, most generally, all construction vehicles have to abide by safety regulations. Safety standards. So all construction vehicles have to abide by safety standards. This is a construction vehicle. Therefore, this vehicle is safe. Okay, so that's a deductive reasoning or deductive argument. So we have these two, and I don't know which, or if he was thinking at all. I don't know which reason, which type of reasoning he was applying. But here's two examples of reasoning or argument: inductive versus deductive. And the key here is, with inductive reasoning, looks like this: small, 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 small. So you start with examples, and you end up with one general conclusion. And with deductive reasoning, let me switch to red here. With deductive reasoning, you start with, let's see, you start with a general assumption, and then a more specific assumption, and maybe a more specific assumption. There's no number of layers that it has to be. And then you end up with, finally, a specific conclusion. Okay, so with deductive reasoning, you're going big to small. Okay, so I hope that helped in clarifying the difference between inductive and deductive reasoning. You'll definitely see this stuff in the homework. And if there's any questions along the way, please let me know. Thank you.